everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today we are doing the Raleigh, as you know, the Raleigh Major for Rocket League is next week. It starts June 26th. So we are gonna make our predictions. So here's how it starts. KC versus Twisted Minds, a best of 5. I see KC. This is the Swiss, so if you don't know, they have to win 3 games in order to qualify for, top 8. So, KC, easily. I could see this being a 3-0. NRG versus Gen G Mobile 1. NRG start out slow in the major, and then obviously they ramp things up and look better and better throughout the tournament. I do see them winning this game. I see it being close though, probably 3-2. I'll give 2 games to Gen G. Furia versus Wildcard. Furia look good in Swiss. Wildcard is Fever, Torsos, and Banana Head. But I'm going to go with Furia. This one, I don't see it being particularly close. Probably a 3-1. Falcons versus Team Secret. Falcons are just the better team. Gotta go Falcons there. Dignitas versus... who is this? I don't know what team this is. We'll go Dignitas though. What team is that? I have no clue actually. Space Station Gaming versus Ultimates. I think with the experience, FK, LJ, and Chronic, the experience that they have, this Space Station roster is very young, so they don't have that much experience. I'm going to go with Ultimates here, probably in a 3-2. I'll say 3-1. Vitality versus TSM. Vitality should win this on paper. They have been struggling this split, but I think they'll get it done. Probably a 3-0. It should be a 3-0. Gentlemates versus Foot. Gentlemates. Alright, we'll go lower. Space Station. Let's go down here. Wildcard versus Team Secret. I do think Wildcard take this game over Team Secret. They're pretty even in terms of skill. I can see it going either way, but Wildcard definitely. Gen G. Oh wait, it says it right here. Virtus.pro. Okay, yeah. Dig does win that easily. Gen G. I think Gen G bounce back and get a 1-1. Going to the next round. Twisted Minds, which is Rise, Nupo, and Atomic. TSM. I see Twisted Minds winning this game here. Not particularly close. 3-1. SSG versus Foot. I see SSG coming back and winning this game pretty easily. 3-0. Team Falcons versus Dignitas. Dignitas have been looking really good. I say this is an upset. I'm going with Dig here. I'm for sure going with Dig here. Vitality versus Furia. I'm going to go with a rough Swiss stage here. I'm going to say Furia take this. Vitality are struggling right now, so. Energy versus Gentlemates. Energy. The Energy have been looking solid this split, the previous split. They did make a top 4 the last LAN event. I think that was Birmingham Major. So I think, yeah, they're just looking too good. KC versus Ultimates. KC. I mean, what can you really expect? They're the best team in Europe and probably in the world right now. So they've been looking solid. Very solid. Okay. Alright, let's go to the O2 round. Virtus Pro or Foot. No, Team Secret versus TSM. I'm going to go TSM here. And Virtus Pro versus Foot. Let's go Virtus Pro here. I see those games being close. Probably 3-2s. Probably go to game 5. That's my guess. Gentlemates versus Twisted Minds. I think Gentlemates are gonna win this one. Yeah. Okay. Vitality versus Gen G. Are Gen G gonna dethrone Vitality? You know, I could see now Gen G maybe putting up a fight, but I'm gonna have to go with my gut and say Vitality's gonna take this one. SSG versus Falcons. I think Falcons are gonna take that series. Ultimates versus Wildcard. Ultimates should destroy them on paper. Like, this game, probably a 3-2. This game I could see going 3-2. Either or. But Vitality, I have to go with Vitality. Falcons versus SSG. SSG could upset here. But I'm going with my gut and Falcons. Ultimates, they should 3-1, 3-2 this team. NRG versus Furia. NRG in probably a 3-0, 3-1 fashion. So they qualify. K-Corp versus Dignitas. Okay. So they met in the grand finals twice. For this split and I think the previous split, Dignitas won one, right? And then the most recent regional, K-Corp 4-0'd them. And KC was just looking dominant, as always. So I'm going to go with KC. My gut says KC. So KC and NRG qualify. That shouldn't be surprising, right? Furia versus Falcons. That's probably gonna go to a game 5. I'm gonna say Falcons qualify for the top 8. Dignitas versus Gentlemates. Dignitas are gonna take this game. I'm confident that they will take that game. Ultimates versus Vitality. I could see Ultimates putting up a masterclass here. I see a few upsets going on in this bracket. So we'll see, Twisted Minds versus Virtus Pro. Twisted Minds should win here. Gen G versus TSM. I see Gen G winning. SSG versus Wildcard. SSG. Okay. Vitality versus Twisted Minds. Vitality should win this 3-1, 3-2. Gentlemates versus SSG. This is tough. But I am going to go with the more experienced players, which is Gentlemates. I'm going to go with Gentlemates. SSG are just not as experienced. I'll go with them. Actually, SSG. I'm going to go with SSG. Inferior versus Gen G. I actually think Gen G is going to take that. Now, the playoffs. Oh boy. This is going to get juicy. So, let's see here. Lower bracket. Let's do lower bracket first. Vitality versus Gen G. Vitality should win this, but they've struggled against like Team BSK. For instance, these are best of sevens, I believe. Yeah, I'm gonna go Vitality here. Space Station versus Falcons. I see that game being... It could be close, but then again, Falcons are just more experienced. I'm going to go with Falcons here. Ultimates versus NRG. Listen, Ultimates beat NRG. They know how to play very well against NRG, but I'm going to NRG. KC versus Dignitas. Let's see, how did I have it here? I had KC. I think Dignitas are gonna get back, honestly, and send them to the lower bracket. Okay, quarterfinal. Ultimates versus Vitality. Vitality should win this. I'm going probably a 4-3 Vitality. I'll give Ultimates 3 games because, again, Vitality's just not looking great this split. KC versus Falcons. I think this is where Falcons say their goodbye. Semifinal 2, KC versus NRG. That is the matchup we want to see. I don't think it's going to happen in the grand final. It could happen in the grand final, but how this bracket is looking, it's not. I'm going to go with an upset. Well, it's not really an upset. You can see it going both ways. I'm going to go NRG 4-3. They find a way. Dan finds a way on soil, on American soil. Yeah. Dignitas versus Vitality. Dignitas own Vitality during this split. They beat them twice. They beat them more times than they lost to them. Yes. NRG versus Dignitas. NRG. Okay, so people were picking KC. Champion. NRG second. Dig's getting up there. Okay. That is my prediction for the Raleigh Major next week. So hope you guys enjoyed my prediction. As always, be sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, be a part of the gaming, be a part of the Danny Games channel. If you guys want, if you guys like this video, be sure to hit the like button and let me know. Bye-bye.